Welcome to week 5. As usual, this video will provide you with a very brief introduction to the concepts that we'll be looking at during our course this term, and also highlight some of the discussion points for our light and dark discussion. As usual, we'll meet on Monday from 4 to 5 to debrief the types of conversations that we've been having during the week at the hashtag ID tips. So where does our conversation fit this week? When we look at Ribble's elements of digital citizenship, we see that this week is focused on digital law with regard to students' life outside of the school environment, but also rights and responsibilities when we're looking at students' behavior within the school and how that is reflected in policy development within the school. So our light and dark discussion this week is going to focus on teaching children to recognize the difference between right and wrong, how that's enacted in policy, how that's reflected in policies developed in schools, and how those policies are a reflection of the laws of the country in which the school is located. Are our policies primarily concerned with enforcing acceptable use? Are we policing the children in schools? Or does our policy go beyond that and look at responsible use and teaching young people how to use the internet and technology tools responsibly? So really the focus of this week is an examination of the policy decisions made in school, looking at the types of policies that you find in your local school and how these are a reflection of provincial and federal laws. One of the issues that schools are facing more and more commonly is the question of criminal behavior. At what point do children's behaviors require outside intervention? Is it enough to bring the parents in and communicate with the parents? Is it enough to handle it discreetly without involving parents? Or do you need to contact larger authorities? In the past 5 years, we've seen provincial education acts across the country amended in an attempt to clarify what is respectful behavior in schools and to more clearly define when and how external authorities should be contacted. When we look at federal law, what we can see is that the existing criminal code can be enacted to describe many of the behaviors that we commonly identify within schools, such as harassment, uttering threats, intimidation, mischief, unauthorized use of computers, identity fraud, extortion, false or indecent communication, incitement of hatred, pornography, libel, and counseling suicide. All of these activities are considered criminal code offenses. If we look at cases from the headlines, we can see how complicated this can become for schools and teachers. In an example from 2009, we see a young couple whose breakup shifted into a criminal complaint. The accused was charged with harassment after repeatedly messaging the complainant. He repeatedly sent her chat messages and also text messages from his cell phone. This behavior was instigated when the complainant ended their relationship and blocked the accused from her messaging system. Although she did repeatedly reconnect with the accused in order to ask for help with homework. After she received the help, she would quickly reblock the accused. Not fully understanding the expectations of this relationship, the accused then continued to message. This behavior carried on for 3 weeks and was finally resolved through the courts, at which point the accused was charged and found guilty of harassment. In 2015, a notable case reached the media again, where a 16-year-old boy in BC was charged and convicted for public mischief because he would repeatedly shut down the internet access of those who rejected his friend requests or otherwise disrupted his gameplay in online gaming. Additionally, the accused carried out other pranks, if pranks is the correct word, such as sharing information gained from the gaming situation or gaming context into other context and other forums, as well as making false reports to the police while his victims were playing online games. So when the police came to arrest the player, all of the other players could watch. Here again, we see the challenge of determining whether or not these offenses are criminal or just young people playing tricks on one another. In 2012, a young man aged 13 was arrested and charged for posting a video recording of two classmates fistfighting off school grounds. He came upon the scene, and although there were a number of other students standing around watching the fight, he decided to record it and then posted this to his Facebook site. Once the Facebook recording circulated among his friends, he was brought into the office and arrested for distributing the video. His parents fought this arrest vigorously, claiming that he was unaware that sharing a video of this type was against the law. All three of these cases highlight issues around young people's awareness of their rights and responsibilities with regard to digital technologies. They also highlight a lack of policy or a lack of awareness of policy for students, and they start to reflect some gray areas that people might have with the application of criminal law to young people's digital activities. I hope to discuss this more deeply in our light and dark discussions on Monday, so we'll pick up there. If you're ready to start reading for week 6, we're going to return to your Boyd text, and we'll be looking at chapters 6 and 8. See you Monday.